Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 653 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm host always. I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Yeet. I'm doing pretty good, dude. I'm doing pretty well, man. Just like as you can tell, well, we just got done watching a lot of wrestling this past night with the Royal Rumble, everything else going down. On top of that, we learned just before we recorded that major trade happened in the NBA with like Luka Doncic going to the friggin' Lakers.
Gables, watch my
And
my brain melts live.
yeah, yeah, literally we're just talking random and all of a sudden I just see Tyler pause like, what? What?
Yeah, he
What?
started panicking because
What?
for like 10 seconds I just kept going, "What?"
It was funny just to see it live, like, well, like what happened? It's like this. But yeah, man, other than that though, it's like I've been doing all right. The week's been pretty good. I actually spent most of my workday today going through old Nintendo consoles and like trying to refurbish a little bit of them. If we had a sort of a lull period and stuff in my workplace, because we just got done with a whole bunch of donations. We were pretty much like doing cleanup and all this other stuff. And I was going through this whole bin's worth of like these Nintendo console stuff. I mean, I have one of them that I'm going to be testing like fairly soon. But I was going through a bunch of these DSs, 2DSs as well. There's some DSi like DS Lite as like DSi XLs and stuff like that. So I'm going through a lot of them, right? And I'm noticing, okay, well, the A buttons, the B buttons, and the D pads are not working correctly. So I open up a couple of them. Yeah, I actually do take apart some of these consoles and stuff, just check out, try to clean things, this and that. And I look at the panels of these systems. One of the DSs had so much like dirt and corrosion like inside of the portion of the board that it literally was unsalvageable. Like even if I did like a Q-tip or anything or like some like rubbing alcohol to try to just clean up a little bit of the boards or this or that, it wouldn't have done shit. And on top of that, like another one had issues with the D-pad portion, like there's this little plastic little silicone thing that go underneath the D-pads and the A and B, like the face buttons and stuff. If one of those like rips or something, it just kind of sinks into like some bits of like the D-pad and this and that. So it just like a lot of the shock absorber stuff every time you press a button or every time like you press part of the D-pad. And so after like about I spent a good solid few hours just like cleaning and everything else. I think out of the whole entirety of those systems, those little handhelds and stuff that I looked at, there may have been like about five or six that actually worked, and there was like about I want to say 10 to about 12 of them.
Hmm.
So yeah, the two DSs worked, like a couple of DS Lites worked, the DSi XLs obviously worked and stuff. What's funny is while looking at the two DSs that were there, I looked up the I looked up both of them. You know how there's like a little thing to where you can see the library of what you've played on the 3DS or whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they did not
Ooh.
factory reset all of this stuff, right? There was no games or anything available on those systems, but I looked at the software and stuff, and both 2DSs were owned by like two kids, it looked like, and they're matched the same names as on the DS. So this literally was like a couple of girls like childhood like DS or like 2DS systems and stuff growing up, right?
Yeah.
And for both of them, nonstop Pokemon games,
Oh, cool.
right?
Yeah.
The one of them had like 258 hours of just playing Pokemon Ultra Sun. One of them had like over 300 and some hours playing like the Fossil Frontier. But calculated how much time they spent on like the each of the girls had on each of their 2DSs and stuff. One of them had over 1,600 hours game time. The other one had like about 1,400 hours game
Damn.
time. And it was super fascinating because it explained everything, like why the DSs were so broke down in terms of their buttons, the most used ones, and this and that. They literally played those damn things until they broke.
Yeah. Well, I get the
And
money's
here
worth.
I am. I'm like a grown ass man. I've played handheld games. I keep mine in fairly decent shape, but yet I don't play them to that extent to where everything just starts breaking down of them. I have them almost like pristine for like 10 plus years. and I play what I want, obviously. But it's like it was just so funny seeing that. But like I was mentioned before, I'm gonna have a fun time because I'm gonna be testing out a Super Nintendo and a couple of controllers and stuff. I just needed to use the AV cable from one of the ones I have inside my drawer here in order to try to like see if that system goes on and works or not. But yeah, yeah, it was a pretty fun day and chill, all things considered. But how have you been, Tyler?
I'm doing all right. You know me, clanging and banging as always. It's been an okay week. You know, last week was a week from hell. This week was a lot better. Just like just work wasn't as crazy. The weather was a lot nicer, so that helps quite a bit. Um, but Gables,
Hmm.
I have to tell you something. And it's very
And
important.
what's that?
You can't be mad at me.
Okay.
It's been a crazy night.
Yeah.
Jey Uso wins the Rumble. Luke has
Yeah.
been traded,
Yep.
and I bought a Steam Deck.
Motherfucker. Oh. Yeah, you bought a Steam Deck, all right.
Bought a Steam Deck. Bought the Steam Deck, baby. Let's go! I'm excited.
Yeah, that's fucking funny. You buy a Steam Deck, and I fucking buy a TV, right?
Yeah. I even got.
That's the one thing I forgot to say.
Oh, your TV. Yeah. I thought you were gonna tell me you bought a Steam Deck as well.
I was thinking about it. For the last month and a half, I had this money like saved up from the gift card stuff my workplace gives me like almost every year. And I thought about using it for a fucking Steam Deck, and I'm thinking to myself, no, no, the Switch 2 thing's gonna be coming out and this and that. And I used that part of my money in order to get myself a fucking TV.
Very nice. Yeah. I mean, hey, you got a TV, so that's pretty sweet. I got a Steam Deck. I
Yeah.
bought the dock for it, so I was playing games on my TV last night and stuff.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I spent some money. I've also been buying some games on here too. Some hits, some misses. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I set up my I even went on my like Steam. I have a bunch of like points and stuff. So now whenever I
Yeah.
turn my Steam Deck on and the Steam boots up, it does The Last of Us theme, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. And then like my like avatar is the Doom guy doing the injured face. Like he actually moves and stuff. And I've been playing. There's a bunch of because like I have a bunch of games on here that I want to play and stuff, but like they're only on like either they're only on Steam or they're on Switch, and my Switch is like it's just I've talked about it recently where it's very loud now and it like hums and I have it's just like it's unbearable to play. Um,
Yeah.
so I have games I bought on there that like the indie games and stuff, and I'm like, well, no, and I bought them on Steam. I don't like sitting on my chair and playing on my computer, so I'm like, if I want to sit on my couch and play games, so I'm cool. I have like Thousand Cross Resist I want to play on there, and there's a couple other games too I've bought recently that I want to play. Like Half Life has never come to like consoles, so like there's that Black Mesa remake that a fan made a few years ago. I
Hmm.
want to play that. So um, there's that Yu-Gi-Oh collection that's coming out at the end of the month, and I'm like, I
Yep.
really do not want to buy that. Oh, I do not want to play that on the fucking Switch. So I'm gonna like, it's gonna be on my, I'm getting it on my Steam Deck. So yeah, so I'm really excited about it, really happy about it. It came fast. I ordered it Tuesday night and it showed up Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, so quick
At least
turnaround.
a couple business days. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. So I bought the $400 one. I just got the base one because I was thinking about I was gonna do the like there's the $400 one that's just the LED, and then there's like
Yeah.
it's
The
256
OLED.
yeah, but there's 256 gigabytes, but you can buy I looked up, I read a bunch of articles, and everybody pretty much recommended the same card that's like affordable, and it's like so I got 512 gigabyte SD card coming for $40. Um,
Hmm.
and I'm just like, all right, I'm mostly gonna be playing this thing, probably docked. So like I'm not, I don't foresee myself taking this to work a lot and stuff. So I'm like, I don't need to spend the extra 130 or $200 for the OLED version with the more space. So I was like, plus like I really can't afford this, but I was just like, I want, but I'm like, I'm gonna get this, but I'm like, I can swing it, but it's like definitely one of those things where like I gotta just be like not be done with money for a while type of thing situation. So, but I'm like I want it, so I got it. So just like Ariana Grande says, I want it, I got it, I want it, I bought it. So, bam.
Well, good. You got
Yeah,
yourself something fun to treat yourself.
yeah. So I got a bunch of cool games to play. I was playing I bought a couple games last night and was playing some
Hmm.
of those. Some of them are pretty cool. So, but yeah, no, I'm pretty happy about it. About one game on there I was gonna play called Click Holding, which is a lot of people's like one of their best games of last year. A lot of people are saying like best indie games, but it is like a game that you have to use like you could play it on there, but it's like you need to play with the mouse because it's all about clicking. So
Hmm.
That's
I
like a
see.
40-minute game, so I'm probably just gonna check it out this week on my computer and stuff. But yeah, and then like I watched the videos. It's like a weird workaround you got to do, but you can put like Game Pass and stuff on there, and you can potentially download other games on my Steam Deck. So I plan on doing some YouTube video watching on that the next week or so, and I'm gonna be installing some games onto my Steam Deck to play.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm pretty happy about it, pretty excited about it. So yeah, Finn Gables, I wanted to tell you so bad. I just wanted to like send you a picture of it last night, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna make this some bitch
Well, that's a
wait.
good way to go through and like surprise me and stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
like I was telling you before, I was so close and just pulling the trigger with that. I was planning on trying to get an OLED one of that, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I have a bunch of game stuff that I have bought and I have not even played, and I just try to focus upon playing what I have currently because I didn't want to try to invest anything majorly for gaming stuff. But at the same point, though, I mean, this is excellent for you because you get a chance to play a whole bunch of games that you've been meaning to get to on Steam. Plus, you wanted some little bit of a step up from what you have with your Switch currently, since it's still giving you some issues.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got then my Switch is a launch one, so like it works fine. It's just loud, so I just don't want to deal with it
Yeah,
anymore. Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know. I was like, gosh, I should probably just wait for Switch 2. But I was like, I'm like, fuck it. So yeah, I got it now. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna be playing a bunch on it. I did actually last night. I got home and I unplugged the Switch and the dock and everything, and I
wow.
put it. It's all I put it all away. It's all been put away already. So I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever play it. It was kind of weird. I was putting it in my carrying case, my Switch. I'm like, I don't know when the next song I'm gonna take this thing out of here is. Like I don't know if I ever. It might be years. Could be. I don't know. Like I might never play this thing again. So it's just very weird. Um,
It just dawns on you end of an era.
yeah, I'm like looking at like the 14 fucking Joy Cons I have sitting over there that I never used. Uh, so for some dumbass reason, I should probably just like sell those or something. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, this is a video game podcast. We're 12 minutes in. Jesus Christ. This is a video game podcast where every week Gables and I
Yeah.
get together and talk about video games and everything we love, hate about them, and everything in between. So if you like this, you like what we're doing, please like, follow, subscribe. We're on everything, any podcast service. We're available there. If we're on YouTube as well. YouTube is the best way to help us out, really. We've really been pushing out the last few years. We're getting really close to 500 subscribers. We're like 488 as of recording right now. So if you want to go there, just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, please. Comments, share with your friends, all that fun stuff. But if you want to listen to us on Apple, Spotify, wherever, that is fine as well. Just hit the maybe give us some 5 stars or a follow or subscribe or share like I said, share with your friends, stuff like that. Um, I would appreciate if you do that first. We're two guys with full time jobs. We've been doing this for almost 12 years. We just do it because we like video games. So, Gables, without further ado, though, let's get into some of the news here. Not kind of not the craziest week of news, but a couple things. One big one I would say here, but it's a big one, but it's one that like I think we all knew was coming, and it's just a matter of when. It's been officially announced. Forza Horizon 5 is coming to the PS5 this spring. It will include the Hot Wheels and Rally Ventures DLC. We'll have crossplay and Panic Button developed this. They are the ones that did like the Switch ports for like Doom Eternal, and Wolfenstein 2. So like they have
Yeah,
worked miracles
comical
before.
ports.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so this is probably a lot easier going from like, hey, we're gonna port a Forza Horizon 5 to PS5. Has to be drastically different than like porting Doom 2 or Doom Eternal and stuff to like next gen games to the Switch. So yeah, these guys. So I'm sure like it'll probably be a very well done version of this. But yeah, I mean it's coming this spring. I don't think there's any price details I could find. No date other than spring. But I mean, Gables, when you heard about this, what was your reaction?
Honestly, with the way Microsoft's been dealing with things, in terms of their games and other platforms, I mean, at first I really wasn't as surprised, and I just decided to think about it for a point, and I realized that this is one of their key franchises
Mm-hmm.
that they have for
The Holy Trinity.
Microsoft. It's part of their trinity that they've had several, and like dating back to the original Xbox, obviously with the original Forza and this and that. But at the same point, it's like I'm surprised to see it coming to PS5. At the same time and stuff, this is just more or less confirms what we've already know that's going. It's like Microsoft is pretty much the biggest third party developer
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
It's It's such a shock to think about it though, because after all these years and stuff, they finally have gotten to the realm of like they're profitable. They're making money hands over fist. Microsoft is in terms of the Game Pass stuff with with making these games right and distributing other people's platforms and stuff. But it's just so weird because it's like I know that that company's going to be putting out another system sooner or later and stuff, and people are going to be looking at that shit. It's like, why the hell would I want to play it on your produced consoles and stuff while everything else you put out is on the other platforms, right?
Yeah.
But I do like the idea that Forza 5 is going to be on the PlayStation 5. Obviously, that's probably one of my main things I do play is on the PS5 currently. Well, I do have my Series X. I still have it plugged in next to my PS5. I power it on. I play games on occasion, even though I pay for Game Pass and play whatever I feel like. But yeah, I think this is a pretty big move here by Microsoft, though. It's because this is part of the initial Trinity, other than like Halo and Gears of War and stuff. This Forza was just one of those remnants and stuff to where people have thought and theorized that this is going to be possibly coming onto other systems, but we don't know. But with this coming this spring with Forza Horizon 5 port, and then the rumors of the like Halo Master Chief Collection possibly coming on to maybe even PS5 or
And
even the
Switch
next
2.
Switch,
Yeah.
it's really looking like now it's like this is all hands on deck. Microsoft is pretty much putting out anything that seems like they can make a buck off of from their first parties onto other platforms to get more money, more notoriety of their franchises. And it kind of makes me question some of the things that they're doing with their first party games. I mean, granted they're not putting every single thing on every single platform right now, but it feels like if they can do it, they are going to be doing it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I mean, like Phil's like done set talk about interviews where it's just not like I said financially it's not feasible to put these gigantic games on just one platform. And yeah, they're on Steam as well, but um, yeah, I mean we even see like PlayStation now like they started putting their games on PC. Obviously, there's like a year or two delay on that.
Right.
But yeah, like I mean for the most part, like we've seen like I mean even with like Nintendo with we've obviously seen with the end of the Wii and the Wii U era, where it's not financially viable for them either. If like their console doesn't sell, they're kind of screwed. Um,
Yeah.
and like even though like it's one of those things where like we look at like the PS5 and the PS4 like lapped the Xbox One and Series S and X, but like the
Yep.
the Series S or the Xbox One like sold fine at the end, but it just got destroyed by PlayStation. And then also the
Yep.
Switch blew up at that point. But like there still is like I mean they get 30% cut in anything that's bought on their console, so like putting on a box is still like printing money for them. Just because like
Right.
they all just think of all like the games people buy, microtransactions, even Game Pass as well. Like it's still a big money maker for them. But yeah, like um, when it's one of those things where like we see this like I talk about a lot with like I talk about like during the Wii U era is like one of my favorite eras of Nintendo because they were like when you're losing, you have to be a little more creative and you have to like bend a little bit. You have to bend, excuse me, quite a bit to the fans. And like we seen like Nintendo with like, hey, buy Mario Kart and you get a free game, or like, hey, like they got a little like they were willing to like, hey, we're gonna like these smaller games we're gonna put out for 30-40 bucks, or now it's like
Mm-hmm.
now when Nintendo's on top, we're gonna like raise prices and we're gonna charge you full price for this game that was $40 on the Wii U, now it's $60, or now like we're gonna raise the price of the Switch or what, like
Yep.
not like not just hit. This isn't just a shot at Nintendo. This is like across board. This is all businesses. When they're winning, they jack up prices, and when they're losing
Absolutely.
or when they're struggling, they're gonna be like it's gonna benefit the consumers quite a bit. Um,
Exactly. And this kind of ties into like another topic that we could potentially go into a little bit later, but with rumors of possible games maybe costing about $100 for baseline.
yeah, that's not really rumors. That's just like analysts talking about
Yeah.
stuff. So like, I don't know. That's a yeah. I don't know what to think about that one. But yeah. Like with this one though, it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's coming. It's like, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like we were just talking about like an hour ago, we find out Luca gets traded to the Lakers. It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
you hear the rumors. It's kind of like, like when like a quarterback on a football, like when Peyton Manning, he signed with like the Broncos in like March, And it's like, oh, that's crazy. But then you kind of like forget about it or you don't think about it. And then like week one comes around and you just see him in the uniform, like the Broncos uniform after like 15 years with the Colts, or like Tom Brady after 20 years with the Patriots, he suits up for the Bucks. And it's just like, I just remember like watching these, like, that's just weird. It's a weird visual here. And that's kind of what this feels like, where it's just like, yeah, you heard about it. Like, yeah, you knew it was kind of coming. Like, there's been a lot of reports and rumors out there, and like, it seems pretty credible. There are people that are talking about it, and then it happens, and you're just like, okay, this is real. Especially like when it's Forza, like we talk about the holy trinity
Yes.
of Xbox. And I mean, the difference here is like I mix it up because I was thinking Forza Motorsports. I was really shocked by that one. And then I was like, oh wait, this is like Forza Horizon's like a phenomenal game, one of the best games on Xbox.
Yes.
And one of the best games Xbox has made, probably in the last decade. But it is a 2021 game. It is kind of surprising, I guess, too, because typically like the licenses, excuse me, the license they subscribe with like the car, like the dealerships for the cars, for the brands of the actual cars to put in their games are only like 3 or 4 years. So this is typically when they're sunsetting the Forza games, like, and they're taking them off the stores. So they must have like re-upped the deal or changed something because obviously putting this out on PlayStation Now means that it's gonna it's that they're not turning off everything here in a year. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like it's definitely it's gonna be weird again though when like we're playing Halo with the Dual Sense, or playing Gears, with the Dual Sense and stuff. I don't know, like there's part of me where like I've talked about for years where like in a perfect world for me, like perfect world for all consumers, like all games come to all platforms and like you could just pick the one you want. And like I've said over and over again, like if everything just came to everything, I would just buy an Xbox because of Game Pass, and then I just buy all my games there. And the only difference, the differential for me is just is the Game Pass because I do like I really like Game Pass. I find whenever I find really good deals on Game Pass, I usually like load up on like months. So I'm like a year ahead right now. I've maxed out what I can spend ahead on Game Pass like a year. Just because I like Game Pass for what it is, and plus when you find deals where you get like $30 for 3 months, hey, I'm gonna take that. Basically half
Mm.
price for 3 months. So that's usually what I do. Yeah, like I love Game Pass. I think it's a great deal. I check out games all the time on there. So, and I think like I've been like the last year or so, I've been like turning back towards like what, Gables? I think I just like the Xbox controller more than the DualSense.
Yeah, I can understand why. I mean, the controller is fairly smooth and stuff, the transition type of stuff, because like the whole placement of the analog sticks,
Yeah,
the feel of the controllers and stuff. I mean, granted, I don't care personally for
yeah,
myself because it's like I interchange between all three styles of controllers, whether it be the Switch one, the Xbox one, the PlayStation one. It's like sure the buttons, the orientations you need to get used to like in the split second or something like that. But I can understand why that you would like the Xbox controller a little bit more.
yeah. It's like it's not like I dislike the DualSense or the Switch Pro or whatever. It's just like I just kind of like my preference is the Xbox controller. So I found myself like le- lately like bending more towards like when I buy like games, I've been buying them on Xbox over PS5. So I don't know, but yeah, it's like I get it. Like yeah, it sucks. It's a weird like I could. It sucks in the sense of like if you are someone that could only afford one console this generation and you picked Xbox, like maybe you're kind of like kicking yourself right now. I can get it from that sense. But I think for consumers overall, like this isn't a bad thing. And I think it would be like if they start with like Halo 6 comes out or Halo whatever the next Halo is gonna be called. If that comes day and date on PlayStation, that would be pretty wild. Like I could
Yeah,
almost see it like if they did like the kind of like what PlayStation's doing with the PC part, where like they're putting them in like a year or two later, like that makes sense. It is kind of weird, like, but like I don't know, like we're seeing like Doom Dark Ages coming day one on PS5. I think like Ninja Gaiden 4, even
is
though it's
on PS5 right
yeah
now.
day one. Well, yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4, the new one. Even
Yeah,
though that's being published by Xbox itself, it's still coming day one to PlayStation. So yeah, I don't know. It's just I mean it's wild. It's funny though. Like this happens and it's just kind of like oh okay yeah like it's shocking, but it's like it's not really, but it's like we knew it was coming type of thing. It's like
yeah,
like a year ago, 2 years ago, like this would have been like emergency podcast. What the fuck is going on? What was happening? It's like oh yeah, okay, all right. It's just I mean the signs have been there for a while, and yeah, I mean it's happening. But Gables, this next topic here might be something more up your alley here.
all
Hopefully
right.
you're excited for this one. We're getting a Capcom Spotlight on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. It'll be
Hmm.
20 minutes. about 20 minutes. There'll be a 15-minute showcase afterwards, all about Monster Hunter Wilds. There's been some rumors and
Hmm.
reports out there that they're going to announce like they're going to have like a demo or a beta for Monster Hunter Wilds because that's coming out at the end of February. But like I said, it's going to last about 20 minutes. They're going to talk about 4 games: Onimusha: Way of the Sword, Street Fighter 6, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, and the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. Gables, this might be the most Gables uh, like ass fucking showcase, whatever you want to call it, I've ever seen.
I know, right? And the thing about it is when they do this presentation stuff like this presentation, I'm going to be at work anyway, so it's sad that they do it like 2 p.m. and a random like Tuesday, but what I am kind of interested in seeing is if there is going to be like a demo for Monster Hunter Wilds like after this presentation. I mean, that would be nice considering that the game is going to be literally coming out like the end of this month.
Yeah, I think it's like 28th, I want to say.
Yeah, it's the 28th.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's literally the last day of February. And as for the Street Fighter 6 stuff, this has to be some sort of like introduction into the for God, it has to be something along the lines of like showcasing some other characters and stuff that they had initially showcased inside of like the revealing the entire season 2
Yeah.
stuff. That's what I would guess anyway.
Didn't
The
they
other
did
thing I
they
can
announce
think
one at
of,
Game Awards, didn't they? Or was that no, I'm thinking Tekken.
no,
Is that Tekken? The
no, that was Tekken, I
Clive.
think.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that was
Tekken.
Tekken.
Okay. Okay.
Because currently, right at the moment for like season 2's thing, I mean, Mai just dropped. I mean, you have the 2 characters that just dropped, from season 2. Terry Bogard, Mai Shiranai, and stuff. So Mai just dropped. People are playing that character right at this moment, but there are a couple others, and I think, yeah, the couple other ones and stuff that are going to be after that we haven't seen yet. I forget their
Okay.
names now. It's been a while, but I'm fairly excited to see what comes out of the Street Fighter 6 stuff. Onimusha, I'm kind of curious about, only because this game was announced not too long ago, late last year,
Game Awards.
but at the Game Awards. So I'm curious to see how they kind of reworked and see how they're going to go forward with this Onimusha game, because the footage we did see from the Game Awards looked fairly good. So yeah, this definitely seems like a more promising one of these type of Capcom Presents stuff.
Yeah. I'm assuming we probably get a release date of one of those Capcom collections. Um,
Yep.
Gables, if you want to do a live react with me on Tuesday night, let me know. Um,
Oh yeah, sounds
uh,
like a good idea.
so if you want to, if you it's up to you. Otherwise, I probably won't do one because these are definitely not Tyler things. I'm a little surprised about the Onimusha one because I feel like I thought they said like 2026 for that one. I could be wrong though.
It
Uh,
could be.
I don't remember if they put a date on it or not. I don't think they said this year. What was it called? Way of the Sword? Yeah, 2026 is what they put. So maybe it's early 20s. Like, I mean, Capcom likes usually like they're the ones like created like the whole like putting a game out in like January type. Like, oh, this is actually a viable option. So maybe that's a game coming in January, but still, it's like it's early February. So, um,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they do something there. I guess with that, like we get some gameplay of that. I think that's pretty crazy. But it also could just be like, hey, like we don't have a lot like major like headline. This is like gonna bring a lot of people in. So if we put Onimusha in this, maybe like more people will check it out just for that type of situation.
Yes.
Like you kind of put the carrot at the dangle the carrot for people. That and Monster Hunter Wilds too. So I don't know. Like it's cool though. I mean it's like whatever. It's like this is not a me thing, but it's like I just find these things exciting. It's just kind of fun that we get these things more often throughout the year now instead of just kind of like E3 and then that's kind of it. So I don't know, but yeah, be pretty excited though. I'm excited to I'm hoping it comes out like maybe one of these Capcom things gets shadow drop deals.
You never know. I
Yeah,
mean, anything can happen inside these. They said they're covering 4, but there's no like no reason why they couldn't share anything more additional. But even with these Capcom Presents stuff, they usually go in line with what they describe will be at the show stuff. They're not generally one to drop a lot of surprises during these type of broadcasts.
yeah. What was that? What was that game they revealed? It was like the PlayStation when they announced the PlayStation in 2020.
Yeah.
The girl with the robot.
Oh God.
What the
Pragmata.
Pragmata? Yes, thank you. I can't believe you pulled that out of your fucking ass in that one. I wonder if that will be there because like that was announced literally like during the reveal of the PlayStation 5,
Yep,
and then I
like
think it was
2019.
yeah 2020, and then in 2022 I want to say they actually showed gameplay of it, and then they said they're delaying it. And now we're in 2025, and we have yet like so maybe there's like a surprise thing here, kind of like what Xbox does when they do like their developer direct, and it's like, hey,
Right,
like here's like a shock thing, like we get like a Hi-Fi Rush or Ninja Gaiden Black 2. Um, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool if we got Ninja Gaiden out of that one though.
dude. Dude, I more or less would think that we would see footage of Resident Evil 9 before we see Pragmata.
Yeah, who knows? Who fuck knows? I mean, Resident Evil 9 is like rumored to be maybe this year or early next year. So,
Possibly. Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, Gables, let's move on here. Some other fun little thing here. We have the Circana report for the year of our Lord 2024. We have the best-selling games, the top 20 best-selling games of 2024. Gables, I
Oh,
want you to try to guess what they are.
well, there are a couple games that I know for a fact have sold fairly well over the past year in 2024, Madden 25, that's
Uh,
one of them.
that is number 6.
Yeah, the college football,
Number 2.
Black Ops 6.
Number 1.
Yeah, kind of figured that one was going to be the case. Now, as far as, oh God, I know the big ones here, but in terms of the thing for the year, trying to think of what else here goes along the way.
Just gonna, I'll just tell you, NBA 2K25 is 5.
Okay,
Uh,
I know that one,
FC
but
Sports is 8.
what was eight?
FC EA FC 25.
Okay, so we got the sports games out of the way. I
Yeah.
know that the Elden Ring DLC probably was a big seller.
Elden Ring in general, they don't have the DLC. Is number
Oh,
9.
oh wow, okay. So I did end up guessing one, even though it's a technicality. As far as like say Nintendo stuff, I don't think really anything the Nintendo stuff probably made it into the top thing, probably other than Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8 did not make it in. There's no Nintendo in the list.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
They saw the Circana report. I was like, we got to announce Switch 2 right now.
My God, the fact that we've got a Circana for the entire year and there's no Nintendo anything on it, that's really crazy.
It tells you what kind of year, like, even though they have the most consoles out there, tells you kind of the year Nintendo had, where nothing landed in the top 20 list.
Let me see, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
17th.
17th.
Yeah.
Only 17th.
I don't know.
Okay, how about let's see. I wonder if there's any indie games on this one here.
There is not.
There's no indie games. All right. So, what's Black Myth Wukong?
Not on the list.
Not on the list.
No.
Okay. Okay.
US only.
US only. Okay. So, Warhammer?
Not on the list.
Not on the list. God, I'm striking out pretty badly with this stuff. Okay, well, I guess I'll just guess one more, and then you can just name the rest of the
Okay.
stuff
You're
here.
gonna kick yourself when I tell you the rest of this list.
Yeah, I'm probably thinking that it's probably going to be something along the lines, of like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero,
Number
maybe.
4
Number four. Okay,
for the
well, that's the
year.
last one.
Number 4.
Yeah.
All right.
Number four, how that entire year, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Number 20, NBA 2K24. Number
Okay.
19, Spider-Man 2. Number
Okay.
18, Tekken 8. Number
Yeah.
17, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Number 16, Gables. Come on, Minecraft. Uh,
Oh.
Number 15, come on, Gables. GTA 5. Uh, Number 14, MLB The Show 24. Number 13, WWE 2K24. Number
Bunch of sports
12,
games.
yeah, right. Number 12, Dragon's Dogma 2.
God, man, that game came and went, and it still sold
Yeah,
12th best.
yeah. I mean, that game sold super duper well at launch, though. Number 11, Hogwarts Legacy. Number
Yeah.
10, what's crazy, Gables, number 10, EA Sports MVP bundle, which includes Madden and College Football 25. So, that's individual sales of the individual of the games itself. So, who knows where Madden and College Football would have ended if they were like, if it counted in there. Uh,
Right.
Number 9, Elden Ring. Number 8,
Yep.
EA FC 25, which is crazy because like they said EA FC 25 was a big disappointment, and it's number 8 for the year.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's weird.
yeah, right. Number 7, Modern Warfare 3. Number 6, Madden 25. Number 5, NBA 2K 25. Number 4, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Number 3, come on, Gables, Helldivers 2. Number 1, I'm sorry, that was number 3. Number 2, College Football 25. Number 1, Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
So, and then like I kind of just skipped over December because it's kind of like a nothing burger of a list. There's only one
Yep.
brand new game on it, and that was Indiana Jones. And the Great Circle was number 14 for that month. And then, I mean, Mario Kart did jump back up into the list from 38th to 16th, and that is because it's part of the holiday bundle.
Yep.
With this, when you buy Switch, you get Mario Kart, so that does count for sales. And then Gables, your game of the year,
Yeah.
squeeze in at number 20 here, Just Dance 25. So congratulations.
Oh God.
So, yeah, and then number one, the number 2 best selling game of the year on the Switch was
No. What was it?
Mario Party Jamboree.
Then what was number one?
Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Mario Party Jamboree. Yeah, I can honestly understand that because I've actually seen people out in like real life and stuff. Whenever I wear like a Mario hoodie and stuff like that, I had this one lady at a shoe store tell me, it's like, yeah, I want to play the new Mario Party game Jamboree on my Switch. I'm like, okay.
Did she invite you over to her house to play with you?
No.
Okay, I was like, did I break Gables? Oh, did she want to grab your Joy-Con?
No, but she probably thought of it. Of
I thought of it.
course you did.
Mm-hmm. 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 Gables, all right. So I'll throw it in here. I didn't have it in here, but I'll throw it in here. You brought it up.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. So there's been the analyst reports. It's not a rumor. It's not like we don't know what's happening. There's like an
Mhm.
analyst that said that GTA should charge, GTA 6 should charge $100 for their game. You brought up Gables. What's your thoughts on this one?
My thoughts upon this one, I will say this right at this moment in time. It's like if a game is fantastic, people are going to pay for it no matter what the price of it. Obviously, there are going to be some caveats to this because if you go inside of a store and then you have a game that's like, say, $100 or something just for a baseline game, there are going to be some that are not going to want to even touch it. There are some that are just going to consume it and don't even give a shit because it's probably their only game of the year that they're going to be playing
Yeah.
anyway that they like. Or at the same time, you'll have just the sum to where it's like, okay, well, I know this is going to be a great game. Everybody's talking about it. This is going to be one of those games of the years and stuff. And it's Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto transcends video games, quintessentially. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been around literally since like 2013. It's been out for like 12 years and still routinely goes into Circana inside the top 20 like almost every month, unless it's like in the recent years, because there have been some.
Well,
There's actually been some months where it surprisingly has not been
well,
out there.
it's because Take Two stopped reporting digital sales. That's the only reason it fell off.
Right, right. It takes Take Two to take it off of like the digital sales stuff in order for it to actually not be circulating around, which that's fairly telling how successful that game is in a
Greatest selling
nutshell.
game of all time.
Yes. So when it comes to, and my thought is, it's like, yeah, like if you had like every single video game, say, let's take for example, if every single video game that released, like AAA or whatever, releases at a minimum of $100, and then you put it inside of retailers, a bunch of people are gonna look at that, it's like, well, that game ain't worth $100. That thing is like just a cheap ass like sports game and stuff that comes out every year. Or
Shut
it's
your
like, you
fucking
know
horn
what?
mouth.
I play those type of games too.
Yeah.
Anyways, when it comes to say another game, let's say like an Astrobot or something like a platformer or whatsoever, and that's $100. Some people will say, you know what? That's worth it. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pay that money in order to do that type of stuff, or play this, get my money's worth. But when it comes down to it, if you put out content and you charge a specific sum and the consumer buys it and you profit from it, a grand deal, then that's how games get more pricey or more expensive for a baseline thing. You know, if it's successful, then people are going to look at it, emulate it, and incorporate it into their own type of like standard and stuff. Now, this, like you were just saying, Tyler, this is just something that some analysts said, you know, this is not like an official thing though, but we got to realize something that the cost of inflation right at the moment for everything has gone up in video games in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, they actually have gone up quite a bit, but not in the case of like a baseline standard, more so about all these hidden things being put inside of games through microtransactions, through season passes, through expansions in general, makes games much more expensive as they were like 15, 20 years ago, where you just pay 50 or $60, get a baseline game. You'd be probably lucky if you did get some sort of DLC for it. I mean, my good example would be, say if you're playing a game like on the PS2 and you get Grand Theft Auto like San Andreas, right? And then that would be the game you played. There's no additional content. There's no anything else that's coming down the pipeline. They would start fresh with a brand new experience in the next platform and stuff. You'd pay like $50 for this game, and it probably lasted you for like probably over a few months or maybe a few weeks. Maybe it wasn't your cup of tea, but the fact remains is the gaming landscape has changed so much and so much resources. I mean, millions of dollars now get put into these AAA properties now to where even if they charge the baseline prices for a lot of it, they're not even recouping a lot of their costs, not even like barely half of it. And
Hmm.
that's not even going into detail about how some of these companies have put all their eggs in the basket of either one philosophy of thinking or maybe even like just one style of game, these free to play live service games. I mean, let's take Sony for example. They put a big old risk on it developing like 5 to 6 live
A
service
dozen.
games, like or even yeah, like yes, of course, like 6 to a dozen, you know, just a good slew of their eggs in a basket in these live service games. It has worked to some extent, right? Destiny 2 has been successful ever since it launched. There have been some caveats to that too. Helldivers 2, majorly successful. There has been some ups and downs with it, obviously, but it's been fairly successful, and it's one of the best selling games of the last year.
Yeah.
Concord, on the other hand, that game fumbled out of the gate.
Yeah.
Everything that could go wrong with that game did go wrong. And what happened? They put it on the market for a lesser value, like for $40, right? They could have just put this game out free to play, you know, recoup some little bits of things, maybe get some little bits of resources. But because from the get go, when this game was announced, the next game that preceded it, that was almost like similar to it, that was releasing on the same system, Marvel Rivals, blew it out of the water. And why was it? It's because of a mixture of a couple of different things inside of Sony's own press conference, their own like Sony Direct, their PlayStation Direct during that year. They put Concord, revealed it. People thought it was going to be some sort of cool little like action game or something like that until they unveiled the curtains and it's like, okay, this is now a live service game. This is like a shooter game on style of like say an Overwatch. And people were kind of like, oh, it's this kind of a game? Yeah, I've already got a couple different dozen, even Overwatch. I can go back and play that. And then all of a sudden, after they see a game like Marvel Rivals, and now it's like, oh, this actually looks pretty cool. You know, there's like you have the Marvel property, you have like proven characters, like established characters, you know, people they're familiar with, art style that people kind of that obviously kind of love that in the grand scheme of things. But regardless of preference, Sony made a gamble to go all in with this live service stuff. And in the end, they had some success, but at the same time, they had one of their biggest first party failures of all time with this Concord game. They spent multiple years, they spent millions of dollars, and they did not have this game up for more than a month because of how poorly received it was. Seeing the Steam numbers in the grand scheme of things, seeing how the reception of the game itself was just like a mixed bag at most. Even with some of the players that loved playing the game, there were some issues that they've had with it. But it's just the thing that because these companies like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they spend so much time and money putting all this stuff inside of like, you know, producing these games, cost of it is going to be increasing regardless.
Yeah.
And so it wouldn't surprise me if we did go like about an 80 or $100 route, or maybe even just kind of like how it was back in the day when we were kids, and some games were priced higher because they had much more effort that are put into it, like say for save data stuff, bigger memory stuff, or even like more quality content that they would just put behind things. But yeah, man, it's just absolutely crazy.
Uh, yeah, like like we talk about, like video games can be an expensive hobby. Um, and I would say we're very lucky though, because yeah, like you think about 30 years ago, like games were 60, 70 bucks 30 years ago on Super Nintendo and the 64.
Yeah,
Um, and now they're 70 bucks in 2025. So like,
right.
yeah, there's frustrations and points with like microtransactions and stuff, but like the thing with microtransactions is like, yeah, like they're there and it could be frustrating at points. And there's definitely times where I'm like, that's a little much. Like Konami charging $10 for an extra save slot in Metal Gear
Oh
Survive.
God.
But like,
Yeah.
there's definitely like levels to this. Like of like, okay, that's a little much. But like, yeah, game like it's expensive. But like we are very lucky. We're like console prices even like we get like we kind of $500 for this. But it's like you think about like consoles back then were not too much more. Were about not that much difference in price point. 20, 30 years ago. Um, so I don't know, like $100, yeah, like obviously like $100 means different to everybody else. To me, like if
Yes.
to me GTA 6, if it was $100, could they get away with it? Yeah, it's GTA. They can get away with it. The problem is though,
Yep.
is that everybody will do it, but like the GTA 6 is the exception, not the rule. And I like look, like I said, we are very lucky that the prices of games has not got more expensive. And microtransactions and season passes and stuff like that is a way to counteract the increased prices of gaming. And like, I will take
Right.
microtransactions for my games to stay at 70 bucks. Like if microtransactions have to exist in other games, so my God of War Ragnarok or my Spider-Man 2 or my Astrobot is 70 bucks instead of 100 bucks, like I'll take that. And like, hey, like, yeah, Madden 20. I love Madden. I play hundreds of hours of Madden. Like, if I was gonna spend $100 on a game a year, it'd definitely be like Madden. That'd be the one game where like, I'd do it, and I would have no issues with it because I play and I only do franchise. I don't even do season passes. But it's like there's a balancing act to it. We got to give and take a little bit here. So
Yes.
it's like we can't like I get like microtransactions, the frustrations. Well, 30 years ago we had so much more. I'm like yeah, okay, but yeah, like I agree, but like these games are so much bigger now than what they were 30 years ago. Where like you can go buy a
Yeah.
game for 50, 60 bucks and beat it 3, 4 hours, and that was it. That was all there was. Now we get games nowadays that are 70 bucks. Fucking Spider-Man 2 comes out, and people are upset because it is a 30-hour game. A
How
30-hour
wild
game.
is that, Tyler?
Yeah, like I think about all the games I love as a kid back then. I said like JRPGs. No other game was a 30-hour game, and we were paying
Yeah.
50 bucks for them. Like it is wild. Like entitled is my like least favorite word in the English language. I think it's so overused. But there's definitely a bit of entitlement with gamers where like we feel like. And I get that way sometimes too when I see a game like, ooh, 40 bucks for that. I don't know about that, but it's like, oh, that's a game I want to play, but I don't know if it was 30, yeah, but like, then I think about like, it's fucking $10 more. Like, is that gonna make you like make But if it was I don't know. Anyways, um, yeah, like the $100 would like I would definitely when we went to like obviously getting older, and yeah, like inflation and all that, whatever. Um, like yeah, like as I've gotten older and I have more responsibilities, more things I have to pay for other than just myself, and or just like, I'm like I have I have a lot more bills nowadays than I did when I was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Yeah, like I try to be more responsible with my financial decisions as I look at my Steam Deck I just bought. But I try to be more. I do honestly try to be more financially responsible and like not just like do like I'm not gonna just oh fuck yeah I'm gonna like brand new game comes out I'm gonna spend 60 bucks on it. Like I'm gonna like think about it. I'm not gonna just buy every game. I'm gonna wait for reviews. I'm gonna like listen to what people I respect or like that like the same things I like. I'm gonna listen to what they say before I buy these things sometimes. Yeah, like if things start going $100, like honestly, like Madden 20, the Madden games might be the one game that's a for sure buy for me every year. Like honestly,
Right.
like, and I know it's crazy to say, and that makes like some people like what, but it's like I don't know, like yeah, like you said, like some people just like buy they Call of Duty, like they buy Call of Duty every year, and I'm sure like
Yes.
yeah, $100 they'll still like they buy one game a year, $100 like my dad, my sister they play one game. It's Warzone, and they probably
Mm.
spend 200-300 bucks a year on it. But you know what? They play one game a year, and they play that one game more than I play all games combined every year. And I have more
Yeah.
friends like that too. They play like 2-3 games a year, but they play way more games than I play in one year. And like if they were to drop 100 bucks on it, that'd be worth it. So I don't know. Like the thing is like, do I would I would obviously do I want things to go 100 bucks? Hell no. I
No.
like this is like when we went to this generation and things went up 70 bucks, people lost their fucking mind. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't want things to go up, get more expensive, but like it's not gonna like prevent me from buying God of War Ragnarok or Spider-Man 2 or um I don't know the next like like Switch 2, the next 3D Mario is gonna be 70 bucks. I'm still gonna buy
Yeah.
it. That
Yeah.
$10 is not gonna prevent me from it. Now if like I don't know like Splatoon 4 comes out, maybe I'll think about it. Like games I might have fun with for a weekend or a week or two, and they'll start coming out. Like that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like those are the games like when I as of like games getting went up 10 bucks or got older in my life and I had more bills and more responsibilities. Yeah, like the games I'm like, oh, I'm gonna play this for 2 weeks. I'm never gonna play it again. Yeah, those are the games I probably are not gonna buy as often or not at all anymore. But like, yeah, the games I know I'm probably gonna love or games I know I'm gonna put a lot of time into. Yeah, like if Astrobot was 100 bucks, honestly, I don't know if I would have bought it. I really don't know. But like, I don't. Now we're like going into it. I don't know if I would have bought it. Now, definitely is our game of the year. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just like I wouldn't be shocked if GTA 6 comes out and it's like 80 bucks, wouldn't surprise me. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's give and take. We talk about like games now. The games that people like gamers we want more and more. We want games to look as pretty as possible. We want games to be as big as possible. We want more and more and more
Mm.
and more and more and more and more and more. And we have to give up a little bit when we want more and more and more. We can't just like
Yep.
there is like I know like there's a lot like I have a lot of frustrations about capitalism and like the stock market and all that shit. There's a lot of like bullshit things that happen like that kind of fuck the little people like us in that world. But like I do understand those as well. It's like if I want these things, I have to be willing to pay for these type of things as well. It's like people like like I love I love those big fucking I love Final Fantasy 16. I love Last of Us Part 2. But I also understand like we gotta we can't I gotta pay for those things if I want those things to keep happening. People want these big huge like blockbuster movies. People gotta go to the theaters to go see them. We can't just like watch them on Netflix when they come out. We can watch them for free on our Netflix service or something like that. Like there is a give and take. If you want these things that you want these big giant blockbusters to happen, we have to pay for them. Um, and yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what the we see like in gaming nowadays where like all these like big and small. We see every day I'm seeing not every day, but like multiple times a week I'm seeing these like small indie studios shutting down because no one wants to. They can't get funding for the next thing, or like the these big giant like EA doing layoffs, Ubisoft doing layoffs, Sony, Microsoft, the richest company in the history of mankind, doing layoffs multiple times a year for whatever reason. They could not make a single dime for 100 years and still could still function at the rate they're going, and but that they gotta do layoffs like for no rhyme or reason. This shit happens. Um, but yeah, like I don't know. We have to. There's a give and take. We have to support things that we love. We can't just find ways to like, we can't like pirate it. We can't do things like that. I'm not gonna tell you like, like don't pirate like old ass games you can't play. But like to me, like my philosophy has always been if you can physically go out and buy it and support that person, then buy it. Like if it's a game you can't find anywhere, you can't pay money to that person to get, then fucking pirate it for all I care. I don't care. But I don't know. It's a long rant there, but I don't know if we actually solved anything there. But like I don't know. Like to me, like I said, GTA 6 is if it goes 100 bucks, it should be the exception, not the rule, because it is literally the sequel to the most profitable game of the history of mankind. So,
Right.
um, yeah. But anyways, Gables, let's move on to what we've been playing. Buddy, do you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I'll talk a little bit about what I've been playing because I know for the past couple weeks it's been sort of a hodgepodge of things. I did end up playing Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I know I've played like about a world and a half of it and stuff. From my initial play and stuff, I do like that it still remains faithful to the original game itself. I haven't really noticed a lot of hitches or a lot of like main frustrations about the game itself in terms of performance issues. I know there have been some performance issues that have been reported upon the game itself, but to me, just playing it in handheld mode, just playing as DK and Diddy and stuff, I haven't really encountered much of like things I would consider to be frustrating or game breaking. But with that being said, I'm really have been enjoying my time playing like a DKC because it's like it's that old school platform sort of mentality of it. I love the Donkey Kong Country games. I did play a little bit of this game back when it first released on the Wii, but without the Wii remote waggle stuff and everything else. It's like it feels better to play in terms of that without anything really gimmicked in too much. I think it's kind of hilarious though that I've spent the entirety of like going through these levels and stuff. Like anytime I see a little plant or something, I just crouch down, I just press the X button, just go blow on everything because I
Yeah.
expect like coins or little pieces and stuff. I think what's really fascinating is like rediscovering how well packed a lot of the levels are in that game. Because even with the first world alone, there are so many little hidden like little pieces of like puzzle pieces you have to find and like the bonus barrel stuff and like not just that but just a lot of collectibles, getting the Kong letters, get the puzzle pieces, doing this and that, and then if you collect a lot of these specific amount of stuff you get to use certain currency or something like that to buy keys to unlock more levels and stuff inside of worlds. I love how just jam packed it is with like certain content, and for me, that was at the first world. Now, where I initially stopped at before just putting the game down for a little bit was like I got to this one stage in World 2 to where you have to dodge like this giant like tidal wave and stuff like that. And you have to hide behind like little background stuff, while dodging enemies and doing this and doing that. It's more of a timing that I have troubles with in this level, but it mostly comes down to I try to collect all the Kong letters and stuff and then try to get to the end of the stage. And I keep having issues with like losing a bunch of the background of like certain like blocks, so like not certain blocks, but certain rocks or certain like things that protect me against the tsunami from like swifting me away, and like just basically I lose a life every time I get hit. But other than that, though, boss battle was pretty fun for the first level. The level designs and like using classic characters, I say like with Rambi and stuff, writing, solving different puzzles and stuff. That was fun. On top of that, I tried a couple of different games because I invested inside of this OLED TV now. I decided to try 3 games. Obviously, I tried a little bit of Madden on it because I had been playing plenty of Madden on that one and stuff. The game looked, and honestly, it looks fairly nice. When you have like a big screen, like an OLED screen, and like you can see how lush a lot of the colors, a lot of the picture quality and stuff it can produce and stuff while playing games on the PS5. On top of that, it's like it runs buttery smooth in performance because my TV is actually equipped for that 120 hertz, that refresh rate type of stuff. So it's like I'm seeing more fidelity, I'm seeing more like consistency and sort of frame rate stuff. But it also gave me a chance to try out 2 other games that I bought late last year for dirt cheap from Costco and didn't even bother opening them until last week. And that was college football and freaking Black Ops 6. And I got them both for $20 each. And the funniest part about it is like I did end up playing quite a bit of both of these games. Just testing out how my TV ran, everything else. The latency was excellent. The friggin' obviously for like the college football stuff, it's like and I know you're just face palming. It's like, why did you play them now? Why didn't you play them back then? but
I hate you. I hate you so fucking much. I can't believe I made you my
it's like
podcast. I picked you 12 years ago to be my podcast partner for life. This is how you repay me.
those are probably the same games you'd be playing on the damn TV. But yeah, college football does play friggin' well. I love playing this game.
I know.
I've
I've been saying it forever.
I know you've been saying it forever.
It's so good.
I did only play a little bit of Black Ops 6.
It's fine.
After, let's see, I tried playing some bit of the levels and stuff this past week. I've gone through like 2 or 3 chapters pretty much. Latency's fine. A lot of the fidelity is pretty nice and stuff, but it's Call of Duty. It's standard action film sort of affair and stuff. It's pretty fun just to run across and stuff and like just hide, duck underneath shit, just shoot up shit. But I haven't tried anything multiplayer wise. I did find it a pain in the ass that once I got the game installed and stuff, I had to open the game and then go directly into the game in order to
Yep.
download the fucking campaign
It's so
because
stupid.
it's so goddamn stupid. And the reason why it's so goddamn stupid is because you already have like over an 100 gigabyte download in order to download the full file of this game, and then you have to download another 30 something gigs on the PS5 in order to fucking get the campaign. And that's not even the multiplayer. Oh my gosh. But at least with those aside and stuff, story wise inside this Call of Duty game, it's out there. Obviously, conspiracy theory stuff. You have like woods and stuff that's like in like other Call of Duty games and stuff. That's one of the forefronts and stuff. But other than that, though, I am kind of liking the whole safe house aspect of it. Like you can upgrade certain things, you can like improve certain bits of your safe house, and like do this and do that. But it just feels nice to actually get back into playing like a first person shooter for a change. Because I spent so much time like playing Destiny 2 for the past few years, and then I just stopped last year because after the final shape, I'm like, I'm done. But when it came down to it, I played a bunch of those games. The last couple of games I did play was just basically replays and stuff of what I play on the Switch online, like Tecmo Bowl, Retro Bowl, those type of stuff. Like just random football stuff because the postseason was underway and this and that, and then it's getting closer towards the end of football season, which is sad, but it's a necessity because I kind of want the season to end because the whole Super Bowl stuff. But other than that, man, that's pretty much what I've been playing for this past week. A little bit of everything.
Nice, nice. I'm playing. I have another game I'll talk about more next week. I got a review code for a game on Steam. I'll play Micah and the Witch's Mountain, I believe it was called. I played it for a little bit.
Okay.
I'll talk about more next week. I only dabble for it in a little bit. I been playing more Hades though. And oh man,
Playing
Gables.
on your deck.
No, I'm playing on the Xbox. So I bought it on Xbox, so
Oh,
I'm playing on Xbox.
okay.
I'd love to play on my deck though. It's a nice deck. But anyways, uh, this is what happens when I'm 3 beers in and it's 1:15 in the morning. I'm almost done with like the main game. I've finished 7 runs so far.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you got to do 10 runs to like finish the story, and there's more you can do after that to like get the epilogue. I'm not gonna do all that. I want to just because there's like a bunch of cool like the story stuff is fantastic in this game, and
Yeah.
I've been loving it so much that I talk about it. I bought the No Clip did a documentary. It's all free on YouTube to watch. No Clips like the development of Hades, like they followed the development of Hades while it was in early access. Um, for like a year and a half they did that, and I actually went through and I just rewatched the entire documentary. And they put a Blu-ray out recently. I ordered that. It should be coming this week sometime. Just so I can have. It'd be cool to have just have the physical Blu-ray for it. But yeah, like I'm Hades pill right now. I've been staring at Hades 2 early access for like since I pretty much got my Steam Deck. It's on my wish list. I'm just like it's
Mm.
number 1 on my wish list. I'm just like should I just buy it? I should probably just buy it, right? I should just buy it. And I'm like, no, don't do it because like I know once it goes 1.0, it's gonna they're probably gonna like wipe all the saves. I'm like, I don't want to like spend 30 hours in this game and then lose all the and I don't want to like I just want to play this game when it's done. I don't want to like
Yep.
I have friends that have like one of my buddies Dave, he's like over 100 hours into the fucking beta or the early access of this game. So like people have like some people have like had it like their game of the year last year and it's in early access still. So like
Wow.
this game is supposed to be phenomenal and I cannot wait to play it. But I am trying so hard not to buy it and play this game now because I just want to play. I want to wait. And I'm so hoping that like people like not necessarily speculation or rumors. People are talking about like Hades 2 might be like a launch game on Switch 2. And I so bad want that to be the case because I cannot wait.
Mm.
I cannot wait to play this fucking game because oh my god, Gables looks so good. But yeah, that's really the main thing I've been playing. I have some other stuff I'll talk about more next week. But yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
I think that's it for the podcast, everybody. So if you like what we're doing, like this podcast, please support us. Going out, like I mentioned at the top of the show, please like, follow, subscribe. We're on everything, any podcast service. We are available there. Apple, Spotify. You think of it, we're probably on it. Leave us a review, 5 stars. Tell your friends about us. YouTube is the best way to actually support us. If you could do that, we'd really appreciate it. We're stuck at we're at 488 subscribers. Love to get to 500. Love to eventually get to 1,000. But if you guys can subscribe to us, follow us, like us, subscribe, leave comments, share with your friends, all that stuff. Really appreciate it. But I was your host. I was Tyler.
And I've been Colonel Gables. Until next time, everyone, thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk-Nerds podcast.
Hey, Gables.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
Too sweet, man.
Bye, guys.
See ya.